It's funny because, like, with all the speaking of Burnley and COVID, during all the press conferences at the moment, it's very serious, very serious tone across the league. Lots of like the Brentford manager informed during it that he has 13 cases.
This is serious stuff. We're going to be back to the dark days of last January.
Apparently, now it said on the headline of a post on the football Reddit that there was rumours.
That's the kind of research I expect in this podcast.
But that there was rumours of a 2-week break, what's it called, the circuit breaker, to like get everyone back to 0 cases and then try go again. But that seems like a nightmare.
Well, will that coincide with the African nations?
Well, that's chaos.
Because if that doesn't, then like it's going to be more arguments.
But yeah, like all that kind of stuff is going on.
Held in Cameroon, by the way.
Oh, you did find out. Find out more next week.
Yeah, I told you folks. Stay tuned.
Maybe the dates next week.
Who knows?
But so that's kind of going on all the press conferences.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear what Sean Dyche had to say?
Always.
Sorry, that's my doorbell.
Oh well, okay, let's see who it is. Surely we all deserve the right to see who it is. This is a really loud doorbell, by the way. Really loud doorbell. You got like a microphone on it or something.
Good timing.
There's somebody at the door. No, we want to see him. Eleanor, we want to see him. They've got interrupted my press conference, so I want to see him. Who is it?
No, it's fine.
You got red. She got red. You got red.
Doing more of a stand-up.
That was very kind of... No, it started off kind of stand-up, but that was like a happier version of Roy Keane's the phone going off.
Yeah,
no, answer the doorbell. You've interrupted my press conference. It's like, oh, that would be so uncomfortable. Like, you're laughing. Like, oh no, he's mad.
Yeah, he did well to save it till the end. He's like, you're gone red. But yeah.
I think he kind of went, fuck it.
Maybe he was at the start genuinely mad. And he's like,
and he pulled it back then, yeah. That's why Burnley are going to go relegated.
Yeah, you don't. You can't stand for that type of thing.
No, you can't be having that.
If he's letting that slide the press conferences, what's happening in the locker room?
Yeah, exactly.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before.
Nonsense. Talking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? Like, what would you say? Just why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will. And we are going to start off with correcting something straight away. Because the last episode, Will, we forgot to do our only other segment. Any bells ringing?
None.
It's our No Nonsense movie of the week.
Oh, you forgot.
It was your.
I still have it.
Yeah, well,
I had it and I forgot. Yeah,
and last
the
week,
people are fuming.
Well, they're sitting there. They've watched Sonic 3 times already. They've watched the trailer for Sonic 2.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Sonic years after it comes out. I'm like, this is actually a good film, lads. I think they should get a second one.
We need to go. All systems are go in Sonic 2.
Yeah, once they heard our green lighting of the Sonic 1 movie, the Sonic 2 movie trailer dropped immediately. You got Knuckles, you got Tails. They're all there, folks. But yeah, well, let's just start off with that. What your movie recommendation?
Movie of the week. Well, we had said it's like we're not like picking like The Godfather or anything. It's like a specific type of movie.
Movie. Well, my thinking was a movie that like you might come across on one of your streaming sites. And go, was that? Oh, do I want to invest 2 hours into that?
Yeah. So my one, it's a bit of a classic. I'd say some people have seen it, but maybe some younger people haven't.
Perfect.
It's a Christmas movie as well. It's my favourite Christmas movie, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The story of Arnold Schwarzenegger, a bumbling dad trying to get an action figure that he's left until Christmas Eve to get for his son, a turbo man.
We can all relate.
It's got everything. It's basically a wacky cartoon.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger flies a jetpack at one point.
That's a great pick, man.
Big Show punches him through a wall. The Big Show from wrestling, who is dressed as a giant Santa.
No more spoilers for the fans.
It's got easily, I think, the best character ever in film, maybe. The guy who voiced Lionel Hutz, remember that guy?
Yeah.
Him playing basically playing Ned Flanders, like a really annoying, overly friendly, excellent neighbour, but with the added bonus of every woman in that neighbourhood wants to fuck him. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a great show. Where can we find this, Will?
It's on Netflix.
On Netflix. Perfect. Yeah, that's two, folks.
That's two belters.
Two absolute belters there. But look, that's just a little bit of a Christmas segment we have. We had some games being played, Will.
Yeah.
Now, last episode, I mentioned how much I hated the phrase "silly season," and I went on to mention it 3 or 4 more times. Because it's one of those things. Once you say it, then it's a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
But it's getting a bit silly.
Yeah,
it's getting a bit.
It's getting a bit mad.
It's getting a bit COVID-y, actually.
Yeah.
Games are dropping off like flies here. We've had the Spurs. We talked about Spurs last week, but what are they doing over there?
Well,
nothing different than anyone else, apparently.
Yeah, and I think at the end of last episode, we were like, it's mad that there's outbreaks still. Like, like how is that happening? Literally, like 3 days later, it's like, oh yeah, it's everywhere.
Well, I heard, you hear these bulletins on Sky News and stuff, and it's like clubs have been asked to reintroduce emergency measures such as social distancing and masks. I was like, they got rid of masks already?
Yeah.
No wonder.
Yeah.
They're like in the UK, obviously I don't live there, don't know, but from what I've heard and obviously the evidence of the cases, I think they've just like completely gone back to normal. Like it's over for them.
They were done with it like in the summer, and they probably had a few great months.
Yeah, it's probably a good ride now, but like this is what I'm worried about. It's like, is this going to be now every year? And we're going to have like state administered boosters, because if not, like our lungs are going to tear each other apart from the inside out. Like it's inevitable now that like with the cold and people inside more, like outdoor running is fine. We had a beautiful autumn.
Yeah,
like it was so mild and so nice, and it worked well. But like most of the years, we've had summers that you couldn't stay outside.
Yeah.
So like every winter is just going to be everyone inside, and then there's going to be cases of the flu / COVID.
Threat. Yeah, you can't enjoy anything because there's always this big cloud over your head.
Like imagine winters, no fans at stadiums during the winter.
Yeah,
like this kind of like that's people. The new normal has been talked about a lot.
Yeah,
but like people come into, well, not really though. We'll go back to what we always done.
Yeah,
I think we're getting to this point now where things are actually gonna have to change forever.
Yeah,
and like football is one of those things where there's a lot, like even if in the stadium just fine, you're outdoor, but like just kind of milling around in pubs, milling around outside, like seeing where they have to corral the opposing fans down like tighter, like that's where you're going to get the COVID.
Yeah, it's funny because like say like the United game being postponed because United had 19 cases.
Yeah.
But like when you think of 19 players have it, so the game's postponed. But if all of those players are grand and fucking 1,000 people in the fans have COVID, the game goes ahead. Like like it's gonna be happening no matter what you try and do. Like
they're like up in the booster shots in the UK. But I don't know. I mean, it's well, like we're just going to the games there. Spurs obviously versus Etienne was the first one. They got the game against Brighton called off as well, and they want the game against Leicester called off. But I think the Premier League are kind of like, no, come on now, we have to play some of these games. And Leicester are also saying they have positive cases.
Yeah,
still have the required number to play though. But United, Brentford also called off as well. For 19 cases in United.
19 cases in United, and Brentford have 13.
Brentford have 13 cases.
And I think that game was postponed before Brentford even knew that. They only found that out today. So they're like, oh, good thing that was cancelled.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. The arse falls out the whole thing now because, you're talking about, the Watford-Burnley game also called off. That was 2 hours before the game. You're coming up from just outside London to the top above Manchester, I'm pretty sure, or around the area, but I think further than going to, my night game. You're there overnight, maybe. Yeah. Maybe
you're traveling up on a train.
You're definitely on the. You can't turn the train around.
Yeah.
You have to get off and come back again. It's midweek too. It's the middle of the week. These people. So like the whole supply chain of football, like of fans, of teams traveling, of hotels, all this stuff. It's all gonna fall apart if there's this kind of uncertainty hours before a game. So it's not looking good. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where it's gonna go this season. I'm dreading the thought of you can enjoy your summer, but like once we get past October,
it's back to
you're gonna get boosters delivered to work and schools,
and
and
no fans.
Everyone's gonna have the flu. for 2 weeks, and then it'll be fine now every year. So I don't know. Like I say, you don't want to get too down with this fucking COVID stuff, because you think we don't know what we're talking about when it comes to football. We are really in deep water when we start talking about vaccines and efficacy rates and all that kind of stuff, and but I mean, it's we'll see. I don't know if these games, when they'll be played. I don't know when they're going to fit them in.
Well, Brighton United is supposed to happen at the weekend. That's more than, I'd imagine that's called off. But now that's 2 games Brighton have had postponed.
Yeah.
And, I don't think they have any COVID cases, so now they're caught in the crossfire of well, now we have to play 4 games in a week or whatever.
Or when they inevitably get COVID cases, they go, no, you've used your 2
you've
free.
Used yours up.
You've used your 2 free chances.
We have no time left now.
Are we going to be looking at games being postponed into late May?
Yeah.
They do play in late May. Do they? Until June, maybe?
Till June, and then it'll be 2 months back. December, fly to Qatar, do the World Cup, fly back, finish the league.
Yeah, I mean, Qatar next December. I don't think COVID's going to be gone anytime soon.
No.
I can't see how that Qatar thing's going to work at all next year.
Well, I guess because it's in a hot country, so it'll be outside.
Oh, no, imagine if it was now.
Yeah.
You'd have the World Cup in a week, say.
Yeah.
You have, internationals.
50 players are out, yeah.
And then you kind of get them all from people who play in different countries onto a plane to go to Qatar to bring that virus to another country. It would be crazy if it was on now.
Yeah. It really adds as well to the ridiculous of having the World Cup on in the dead of winter everywhere else, just because it's hot in Qatar. But
the Qatar World Cup was always a bad idea.
Yeah.
But it just keeps getting worse and worse. Literally, as the days pass, it becomes the worst idea that FIFA have ever had.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. But there were some games played. Most notably, City beat Leeds 7-0.
Could have been 9.
Lucky Southampton weren't there. Luckily, Ralph Hasenhüttl wasn't in charge, because he would have found a way.
Let them score 2 more.
Crazy game. I watched that game, and it was from start to finish. I've never seen just that kind of domination, because Leeds aren't. I know they're missing players, injuries. Did you see Bamford was missing again?
Oh, I haven't heard of him.
Well, do you know why?
No.
Did you not see his goal last week?
No.
He was out for a while. He was injured, obviously. Came back, scored a winner, went ham, running down the sideline, arms and legs flailing everywhere. I looking at him at the time, I've never seen him move like this. Yeah, as a result, he injured himself in the celebration.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And there was a giant Bamford shape hole in the team where they couldn't hold on to the ball. There was no focal points. So if he felt bad before missing games, he felt extra bad after 7-0.
Well, that reminds me as well. I actually meant to say this in the last episode. At the end of the last United game, in the last second of the game, in Old Trafford it has the dip, the big dip that people always fall and hurt themselves. Wan-Bissaka went flying in for a tackle, in the last second of the game, missed the tackle, down the hill into the advertising boards, got injured, was riding around in pain, but the whistle blew. So all the staff had already gotten up and were shaking hands, and all the players were walking around shaking hands while he's just lying in this ditch on the side of the
So no one could see him.
No one went to him. It was just on camera for a bit and then it cut away. I haven't heard anything about him since.
The ground's closed. There's nobody coming. Help!
Yeah. Just put your ear up to the door of Old Trafford.
Yeah, I don't think Bamford was that bad. I think he probably tweaked something and went, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Walked in after, it was the end of the game, walked in after the game, boss. Yes? Well, I didn't see you get tackled. How'd you injured? Fucking shenanigans. I don't know. They were trying to play it out from the back, trying to play it short, and City were just so dominant.
That happens to Leeds though, is when if they start getting pummeled, they don't really change tact at all.
No, they don't. I don't know what this Bielsa lad at all. Yeah. Can we just say that?
Yeah, I think so as well. A bluffer.
Yeah, he is one of the one of the most highly rated managers out there. And
he was famously voted second in the year Leeds won the championship. He came second in the Manager of the Year award in the whole world.
Well, this is the thing. I only heard about him. Now, again, not that I'm a fucking authority on the game, but after the Spygate, Frank Lampard and Derby and all that stuff, and I was like, oh, geez, that's a mad old story. And it was like, yeah, they were treating like Bielsa as like the Godfather.
Yeah,
that he would be like disrespected, or that that he'd be accused of such an act, and then he did it, and it was like, oh well. That's why he's such a good manager. But at the start of the game, the start of Man City Leeds, they were saying, now this is one of these bollocks stories that definitely didn't happen. Well, I don't know if it did happen, but it's ridiculous. It was like that Pep once had an 11-hour chat with Bielsa about the football, tactics, philosophies, I don't know, life maybe. I mean, I couldn't talk to anybody for 11 hours.
Imagine doing an 11-hour episode of this.
We do 2 hours of this a week, and it's fucking
hard.
We usually start to fade at the last 20 minutes. Any of our long-term listeners can attest to that. 11-hour chat about just tactics.
Oh my god!
And all the tactics he does is they play murder ball at training. That's all I hear about Bielsa's Leeds. Yeah. They run around, no stoppages to play, and they have a small squad, and when they get injured, they lose 7-0.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Or 5-0 to United, who this year had no other plan. Like it's just, I don't see it.
No, me neither.
And again, I'm not a fucking a tactics guy. I don't know shit about that kind of stuff. But like, I'm just looking at the results here. Like, it's a good, like Rafinha is a really quality player. Like, they were good last year. Like the Stuart Dallas, Bamford, they had really, you might say they overachieved.
Yeah.
A little bit. They have a few injuries, like say Bamford, Pascal Struijk, Phillips not playing as well as he did last season on the back of, I guess, the Euro. So they are missing there. They can't. Yeah. You can't ignore that. But like, it's the inability to say, well, we don't have a team that can compete with City or play the way I'd like to play.
Yeah. So let's adapt.
Let's adapt. Like that's what I would say is a good manager.
Yeah.
Someone who's like, yeah, we're not at 100%. So how are we going to win the game? Yeah. How are we going to compete? How are we going to keep the score down and then maybe get a goal at the end? It's like, no. Let's just do what we always do. It's worked so far. And they just scored and scored and scored. Yeah. I was watching it and I was like, this could be, 6 or 7. And like the goals that just went in.
Yeah.
Like there was a goal there that they I know it's like what am I trying to say? What a nothing comment, but like it's hard to describe the inevitability of the goals going in and watching that game. It was like I think Nathan Ake's goal.
Yeah, I mean, there you go, Nathan Ake's goal.
I think it was like 64 minutes they took off to put on Nathan Ake. Like that's how easy it was for them. Yeah. But like he's like, it was a training ground move. He starts at the front of the kind of huddle, spins round, goes to the back of the group and heads it in. It's like, that never happens because people have a fucking hold of him. Yeah. Like Leeds were just like, and he got blocked. So he starts the front. Sorry, he starts the front. John Stone steps out, kind of screens the man. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you're in my way. Get a fucking hold of Ake's shirt. You will never get fucking, unless it's like really, really blatant. But like, that's why they hold on to them. Yeah. So that you don't, because you could easily do that if you're just going to not defend.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, this is the amazing Bielsa. What would you chat to him about 11 hours for? Yeah. I don't know. So it's not good for Leeds.
Maybe it was 11 hours of Pep going like, you have to defend.
Yeah, that's just a disagreement about the basics of the game. Yeah. And look, we were saying we loved watching Leeds last year. No, we didn't think that Leeds, wow, this is good. Here's a new entrant to the Big Six in the next few years, because this is a really good team, really good manager, big stadium, big fan base. It was like, no, they're great because they could win by 6 or lose by 6.
Yeah, they score a few, you score a few, who cares?
Yeah, I was like fucking watching, like say, an episode of Premier League Years in real time. It's just goals, goals, goals. So I don't know. Where are they on the table? They're not too far off relegation, are they?
I think they're down there, yeah.
Where are we going? They're 16th.
Oh, they're really down there. They're as down there as you can get. Yeah,
on 16 points?
16 points, but Burnley have 2 games in hand. Watford have a game in hand.
And Burnley on 11. Yeah, like they're in there. Like it's Christmas now. Again, we don't know what this Christmas. We always say, well, we don't always say it. Statistically, the person on top after the Christmas season goes on to win it more times than not. We don't know what the Christmas season is going to look like this season. I don't know where Leeds are going to go from here, because I mean the injuries, it usually clears up towards the end of the season, but it never just kind of rights itself immediately.
Yeah.
Because invariably one person gets injured, or one person comes back from injury, someone else goes, and that's where you need a big squad or good management or both.
Yeah.
And I just very disappointed watching Leeds. I thought, like, City are good. Obviously, they beat Arsenal 4 or 5-0.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you don't see Burnley losing 7-0, especially regularly. Like,
United lost 2-0, 3-0.
Yeah.
Because they knew if they were to play, like, anybody could have lost 7-0 if they played the way Leeds did.
Yeah.
If you're just going to go at them and have no plan to defend, it was just unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's plenty of teams that played them this year that face the same fate, but we don't want to lose 7. I mean, for the goal difference for City.
Yeah.
For the goal difference for Leeds, what are they now? They're minus 15. And Watford are minus 10. So they've, they were 2 goals better than Watford before that game. Like, that's
trouble.
That's insane. That's a huge swing. And at the other end, Man City are now on 31 goal difference, almost as good as Liverpool, which is crazy to think about.
Well, Leeds have conceded 32 goals in 17 games.
It's just crazy stuff. Really crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, we're going to do predictions later on. But I'm pretty happy with my City prediction. They look pretty good there. You had the 100-goal man, Raheem Sterling, on the bench, not getting around, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, 7 wins in a row. Reminiscent of last January-ish where they won.
Yeah.
What was it, 9 games in a row? And that was the record?
After a COVID break,
yeah,
they won 9 in a row. This is 7-0, 7 in a row.
They haven't even got their COVID break yet.
No, they look very, very strong.
Although, speaking of, did you see De Bruyne's interview after the game?
No.
He's had kind of a quiet season for his terms, like
injury plagued, I would say.
He said, after COVID, I came back and trained as hard as I could. With the schedule, it's not that easy, but I'm doing all right. I still feel sometimes that my body is adapting and I'm not the way I was. I do 2 or 3 sprints and feel it, having had COVID. So, like, he's still fucked.
Yeah, he's only 29. Yeah. He's not like he's 33. He's like, that happens to all of us, pal.
Yeah, and, like, he went from being, like, the top player in the league to, like, running is hard, man.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about this, it's kind of related, but, like, all those teams in the 90s, those, like, cult classic teams, like the United team. Obviously, United were very successful, but, like, it was always United versus Liverpool. It was like, no, you drank more. No, you drank more. We just drank at the right times. You didn't know how to drink, but we all drank, And Arsenal had the Tuesday Club, where they developed multiple alcoholics in the form of their captain, Tony Adams, and Paul Merson. I think, like, the Tuesday Club obviously was because you played at the latest the game on a Monday, so we'd all be free on Tuesday. I won't play again till Saturday. No, you'd never, like, there's so many games. I think that's what it was, to combat alcoholism in the sport. Like, if you just make them play all the time, they can't drink.
Yeah, if they physically do not have time to leave the house,
you can't get on the plane.
Yeah.
Don't drink the plane, problem solved.
We have to go to Austria tomorrow.
We have to play the Europa.
We finished 8th, therefore we have to play Vitesse.
Yeah, I don't know, the Europa Timbot fucking Galactic Super Cup or whatever.
Then we have to fly back, play the other English Cup.
Yeah, one of the 3 English Cups we'll be playing. I don't know, it's just the schedule is tough. I mean, the fact that he played well last week, scored 2 goals, and our second we scored was absolutely ridiculous, screamer of a goal. So yeah, I think City looked really strong for the title, and sorry, man, fuck's sake, I don't know how to do it now. Yeah, so City looking very good title, Leeds looking very good for relegation. So I mean,
that was a bit of a 6-pointer of 3 points at the top and 3 points at the bottom.
Yeah, I guess so. In that sense, yes, a real 6-pointer. What other games were actually played then? Arsenal West Ham. Now, we both predicted, felt like an Arsenal loss, felt like the run was coming to an end. Well, the run had already come to an end, but it just felt like one that, West Ham were going well. A kind of a solid, strong team like the Souček and Antonio, not kind of Arsenal's strong suit. in years gone by, I suppose, because Arsenal won 2-0. Apparently they were very much in top second half, and then, Smith Rowe came on and got the goal. But I mean, West Ham were very disappointed.
They were literally the most fuming I've seen them possibly ever with Moyes. I did see Declan Rice's interview. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He was mad.
Fuming.
It's funny because it's like I think when they're playing Arsenal, who are still a very big club.
They've lost all the mystique, yeah.
But yeah, they've lost it when West Ham were it's a joke.
Yeah, they're smashing chairs in the dressing room, what the
It's
fuck?
Arsenal!
Yeah, I was watching the Schumacher documentary there, and when he won first, it was McLaren and Mercedes, and he was sponsored by, I don't even know if the company's still in business. It was a t-shirt making company. Had a Formula 1, I don't say a pretty big t-shirt making company,
yeah.
but even still, the comparison with actual car companies. And Michael Schumacher's won 2 championships. I was can you imagine the board meeting at McLaren? That's what losing to Arsenal is now. It's a fucking t-shirt company where we make cars for a living. And Michael Schumacher's 21, this young driver with a t-shirt company's car. That's how good a driver he was. And no, I was saying Arsenal or fucking Smith Rowe was gonna be the next Michael Schumacher, but
yeah. Oh,
just
so funny, Declan Rice.
That's the vibe I got. I was that's probably what they were like. Then how are we losing to them?
Because they've lost to they lost last week, didn't they? They lost.
Drew at Burnley.
I didn't hear any of that after Burnley. They were yeah, that happened.
Well, that's probably it too. It's you lose to Burnley. When we were saying, you need to win these, they probably have the same conversation. These are the kind of games we want to win against top 3, top 4, and then Arsenal. This is a big game because they're direct rivals for the fourth spot.
And they're probably the weakest of the direct rivals. They should be.
Yeah. Well, COVID aside, I suppose. Yeah. If all United and Liverpool or Spurs players come back with lung diseases, Arsenal are definitely in the lead. Yeah. The turning point, they didn't actually score from it, but there was a penalty given to Arsenal. If you want to see some really dark stuff, type in Anthony Taylor on Twitter. Because
I would imagine
he gave away a penalty and sent off
Kufal.
So foul.
Yeah, very good.
What was my joke with that again? Oh yeah, so foul. So someone actually shouted "so foul," and that's what happened. He fouled him in the box, adjudged by Anthony Taylor. And they asked the manager after the game. They always back the player. Let's see what David Moyes said.
Well, let's talk about the 10 men. What do you make of the challenge and the decision?
Well, I think we've had a weekend just gone of really soft penalty kicks, and I think that Anthony Taylor might have this one right. I think he might. I think that we do get the ball, and I'd like to claim that, and I'd like to say that, but I think Vladimir should have got a better contact on the ball. He should have either got his foot to it and toe-balled the ball away, or if he was going to block it, then he has to get a fuller contact on the ball. But I still think that, the referee on the pitch could have quite easily not given it because of the contact. But I think the follow through was probably more than the reason for it. He should have toe poked the ball away, or he should have blocked it. I didn't think it was that difficult a tackle to make.
Yeah, it was strange. I don't think I've ever seen a manager just kind of give in like that.
Yeah,
he was I guess I could see both sides of it, but really I'm more mad at the player.
Yeah. He said he should have got the ball. He should have made it toe posted away. It was an easy tackle.
Wasn't that hard tackle to make?
And in the replay, he slides in, he gets the ball, and then he kicks Lacazette.
yeah. It did seem like
It was a combo as well though, because Lacazette was on the ground holding his face, screaming. If this is the start of the season, that's not a penalty.
Start of the season, no way. No, I'd say maybe Lacazette probably gets
a card. Yeah.
A card.
You're ruining the game.
I know they saved the penalty, but sending off then, and Arsenal kind of felt like they had them there. They had the number a bit, which is good. Usually Arsenal don't seize that opportunity sometimes.
They're defending now.
Yeah, they think, well, look, we have 1-0, let's just keep at that, and then they concede one in the end. But Smith Rowe coming on. I'd imagine he's still on his schoolboy contract, wherever he is. But once Aubameyang gets the boot, I think there's going to be a lot of money freed up. So, yeah. But if they don't get rid of Aubameyang in the January transfer window, players like him, Saka, Odegaard. I mean, Odegaard's probably on pretty decent money coming from.
I would say so.
He's probably in a long-term contract, I'd say. But Gabriel, I wouldn't say, if in his next contract extension. Anybody playing well, you know, they'd be looking, come on. If Aubameyang's worth that.
Yeah, exactly. They need to get Aubameyang out of there quick.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, no, that's clearly a mistake. You're all on the right money.
And you might say, listen, lads, you're being a bit harsh on Aubameyang here. Like, think the goals he scored. Well, this isn't the first offence, is it?
No. So, The Athletic put out basically like a summary of it says his series of infractions. So, Arteta instituted a travel ban in response to increasing COVID cases, which, number one, Arteta did.
Yeah, it seems strange.
Surely, like, that is just a done thing. So, Aubameyang requested an exemption. Arteta provided a 24-hour window. So he said, get there, come back. Director Edu and executive Vinay spoke with Aubameyang. Aubameyang feels considerable shock at the fallout because he thinks, sure, you let me go. But apparently he was late coming back. Despite using a private jet, Aubameyang was travelling to Laval, which has no direct airport connections, and a single day arguably was an impossible task. So he said, 24 hours, no problem, boss. Yeah. And he, in his mind, was like, I can't be gone longer than that, pal. Yeah. Yeah, he asked for permission and forgiveness, and also had asked for forgiveness a few times. So a series of infractions that are known, it says. Missing a COVID test prior to a Europa fixture, breaking COVID regulations in February to get a tattoo, and then reporting late for the North London Derby within the same week. Classic. General lateness. And this is my favourite one. The captain's notes feature was dropped from the official matchday programme after Aubameyang consistently failed to provide notes.
Yeah, I don't know, dictating your fucking notes on Brighton after enjoying your tattoo. Yeah, great fucking fish and chips, I think. And what are the captain notes? What they write about?
I'd imagine it's all the bollocks that they do in the interviews, like, oh, we want a strong performance, last week wasn't good enough.
Oh, fuck that, man. Yeah. I had that in my contract, ironclad, no captain notes.
Yeah, I'm sure if someone saw that in the contract, they'd be like, as if you're getting captain, mate. Saying, like, I don't want any responsibilities.
Well, I got a ghostwriter then.
Yeah, it's like, get someone to do it. Surely, I, to be honest, thought that was the done thing. Like, whenever I see the manager's notes in programs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was some dude at the club, like an intern, just say all the bollocks that they say. I didn't think they were actually sitting down and had a deadline. There's a lot going on to get that done.
Yeah, but then you get caught with an interview. In the captain's office, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Did I, yeah?
The eyes wide.
That does sound like something I would say in my captain's office. So I guess they have to write themselves, I guess. Yeah. Oh, fuck that, though. The whole thing is just, like, general lateness. That does annoy me as hell. I show up like 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
I'm here. No, you're 5 minutes late.
But you're 5 minutes late and we have to do COVID tests.
But you're just talking. You haven't started training yet. It's like, you fucking... I know those lads, like, will fucking show up.
I mean, late for the North London Derby is so funny.
Yeah.
It's only the biggest game of the year for him. He's the captain. I'll just be there when I'm there.
Well, that's the issue. I don't think he was the captain at Dortmund ever.
No. Because he was known... Like, hey, you can't rely on that guy.
Yeah, they had like the Hummels and Marco Reus and kind of longer serving players there, so it's fine, and you can just be the guy who scores goals.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make it, like, you know, did Arteta make him captain?
Did he?
That's it. Yeah, after Xhaka.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So, like, it's on him as a judge of character. Like, you should have known that, like, is this the guy you want to make captain? The guy who has his contract doesn't do... No responsibility, please. Like, you know, you should know that stuff. So, like, now this thing where he says, 24 hours, be there and back. Arteta, I think, knew. I think this is a kind of a screw job.
Jail, yeah.
This is the Emirates screw job.
Yeah.
Oh, you broke the restrictions.
That's it. Like, you know there were 6 disciplinaries, you're out.
Because, bear in mind, he scored 4 or 5 goals this season.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's not even providing anything now.
And last season he was also poor. So this is now a season and a half of, like, this guy's washed.
Yeah.
I got to get him out.
Yeah.
How do I get him out? Breach of contract. That's been one or two. Breach of contract.
Yeah.
To null the contract because he's not scoring goals. You pay him a ton of money. And he generally probably isn't a good fucking leader, I'd imagine. If he's just like, even it doesn't seem like much, but show up late for that kind of, you're the standard bearer and that kind of stuff.
But people like, you always see criticism about Maguire being captain for United
Yeah.
because he's not the best player. But like, you know, it's not the best player that's captain. It's like, yeah, he's pretty reliable, and like, he can go out there and give the most generic press conference you've ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
like, you don't want anyone who's going to cause trouble or stuff like that.
No, and that's, you know, if whenever Maguire might be good at the moment, or, you know, good enough ever if you ask Rafael van der Vaart.
Yes.
But he does try hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously if your captain's making mistakes, it's like, come on, lads, better cut out the mistakes. It's like, you have to cut out the mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who's not even showing up on time,
Yeah.
and then he's like, come on, boys, big game tonight. Sorry?
Yeah.
When was the last time you scored even?
Were you not in Laval yesterday, wherever that is?
Yeah, you know, like, we get 3 months off, man. That's the job. You know, you work for all the year, you get paid loads of money, and you get 3 months off. That's when you're fucking going on holidays.
Especially if, like, you're a player at Arsenal who's, like, you're being responsible, you're on time for everything, you're probably missing stuff, like, with your family or whatever. It's like, no, I have to be there.
Yeah.
And then with the COVID restrictions too, you're not travelling, you're
Yeah.
not having people over, shit like that, and then he's just doing whatever he wants, and he's telling you what to do.
Yeah.
And you would be like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, so I think my sense is that they're trying to get him out.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to get him out, but...
Well, you said Arteta's judge of character.
Mm-hmm.
The new people looking at to be the new captain, I'd say just till the end of the season. I can't imagine this is permanent. There's no way.
Well, if you did pick from there, the best choices I would come up with were probably Tierney, who's always injured.
Yep.
Which is also, it's not that he doesn't try hard or doesn't play
You know,
well.
he has to be there.
You got to be there. You have to be on the pitch. Not worse than the captain who's like not training.
Yeah.
He's not playing and is like giving it all this. Like, it doesn't make. Again, fucking captains don't really matter. They just hold. As Roy Keane said, they just lift trophies at the end of the season. But if it is something that you've struggled with, like Arsenal have, it's kind of a statement of no, we're doing it right now, and to give it to the guy who's injured. It's more important for Arsenal now than it is for probably anyone else.
Yeah.
Then maybe Gabriel, who's played well this season.
Yeah.
But again, you know, it could easily become a Maguire situation. Maguire played well for a good bit too. Seemed like a good choice for captain.
I don't know what Gabriel's English is like.
Yeah. Again, you don't need someone talking much, but I just feel like it's a decision they need to get right. So who do they pick, Will?
Lacazette and Xhaka are highly regarded in the dressing room, and they're part of the leadership group in addition to Rob Holding. Arsenal will look to make changes to the leadership group at the start of the next season.
Yeah.
Odegaard is a strong candidate also.
Captain Norway.
Ramsdale, Gabriel and Tierney are less likely.
What?
Yeah, that's what it says.
My choices.
They said no.
I would have picked Ramsdale.
Yeah, he's a keeper.
Yeah, keepers do get captaincy, but I mean, I wouldn't pick Ramsdale. I don't know.
Yeah.
Less likely. Fuck you, Arteta.
And then the last line I think is a big one. Unknown if whether just said in a weird way. Unknown if Aubameyang will return or whether Arsenal will pursue a January transfer for the striker.
I think they will. And I think go to Newcastle.
Oh, that is, you've done it. You've called it.
That's a shout there now.
They go down if they get Aubameyang.
Who would take on Aubameyang?
Yeah. Last week we were talking about Qatar and stuff. We've got Qatar right here.
We got the money a lot closer to home than Qatar.
Yeah.
That's what I see happening. I think they want to get him out. They're starting this whole kind of 24 hours. You brought the curfew, you know. And I think, although that's not where Newcastle are struggling for goals, because Sam Maxwell and Wilson are the two best players. They're struggling in the middle and the back.
I mean, Aubameyang probably benched if he goes there.
I guess you'd better have him and Wilson, but I think it's just, you know.
Like, you'd have to be relying on him to want to prove Arsenal wrong, which I don't think he's that type of guy.
Well, if he feels set up, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. But, look, I was wrong about... well, I won't say I was wrong. I said...
I would never.
I would never. Well, like, see, things most of us don't... And I don't mean like us, like, oh, we don't know anything about football in kind of a cringy podcast or, hey, don't listen to me, I'm an idiot kind of way. But I mean, most, like, people who watch the games, like pundits and journalists, they don't actually fucking know what's going on. It is just kind of guesswork and looking and thinking, I don't think he has a clue what he's doing.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, I don't know if Arteta has a 3-year plan with Arsenal. I don't know if the club are tracking 16, 17-year-olds in the Bundesliga B right now for 3 or 4 years. No, I'll have Chelsea and Kai Havertz, who supposedly have been tracking for a long time. And it doesn't matter who the manager was when he became of age, they were going to bring him in. I don't know if Arsenal are doing that and Arteta's involved in that and he's saying, I need to get the club to this kind of a level so we can attract Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Only people who have that kind of information are like journalists or ex-pros who have an inside track in the club and then they can tell you. But like most people are looking at it thinking, I don't know. Yeah. So I still, like, you could have said, oh yeah, be patient with Ollie 2 years ago and then 6 months ago you've been right and now you're wrong. Yeah. I was like, yeah, Arteta's not the man. He's not going to do anything good. He is done pretty well. In 6 months' time, it could be a case where you're in a social situation where it's like, he can't do it.
Yeah, it's that thing, you're only as good as the last game.
Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe Arteta does have a master plan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think of the managers he's outlasted now, like he's the last of the he's the last in the Premier League of the like ex-player from that club when that was trendy. Like the rest of them burned out in a fire. He still survived. But then again, he went through a period where like they were actually fighting relegation and should have probably been sacked at the time. He turned it around, but I mean, you know, the players weren't that bad, I guess. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I might start off saying, you know, credit to Arteta. It was a big win against West Ham, and I thought this kind of game they would lose. I said last week, this is a game they'll lose because they don't have it. So he's got them at least to that level. And when you think of where they were when he took over, it's a huge step. So, you know, credit where it's due. But the thing is, if you had in, you know, a Tuchel or a Mourinho, you'd say, well, what I can rely on is that I've seen him do it before. I've never seen Arteta bring you don't know
a team to the Champions League or to the league title before, so you can't have any real confidence in that, because again, you don't know what's going on in the club. You don't know what is their plan, or is it just like end the season, I hope we finish in top half or top four. So I don't know. Listen, they're not going to change them now. They're doing well. Young players like Saka and Smith Rowe are going well, so it is positive. Once you get the captaincy thing sorted, and then,
well, get that out of the way, nice and easy.
But they need a striker. That's what, you know. It's going now, but they need a striker. If it's Calvert-Lewin, I mean, always injured, perfect Arsenal player to me. We'll see, but you know, they are going well.
Do you want a bit of rare breaking news on the podcast?
Oh yeah.
Well, two. One, Leicester Spurs is cancelled.
Okay. Third Spurs game cancelled.
When are they going to play then?
Jesus.
That's they have a backlog of games now.
Yeah.
It does seem like, I mean, they have to take a break in the league because the backlogs are piling up for everyone now.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to go. I think the UK are heading for a big lockdown, but I just don't think. Well, it's going to be an ordered lockdown, but I just don't think they're going to do it after the whole
you can't put
Tory Christmas party thing.
You can't put the lid back on after you've opened.
They've lost all the confidence in the government, you know.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, you do one rule for them, one rule for us kind of thing.
We talked before about the simulation.
Yeah.
Of how like COVID is the worst possible thing you do right when people are like, I don't really trust the government or vaccines. That news coming out like days before we need to lock everything down.
Yeah.
That's a very simulation again.
It does feel like somebody's fucking with us now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's probably you.
Could be.
I'm in the pod, you're doing this to me.
Yeah.
I've been in there 5 minutes. I'm going to come out and you're like, come on, we have to do the podcast. And we're millionaires.
Oh, I like that.
We have our own fucking matrix in our house. We're so rich.
Why are we living in this simulation?
It's funny, I guess. It's probably a bit on the other podcast outside the simulation. Like, what if we weren't good at this? And we had a bad podcast. And, you know, nothing in your life ever worked out. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Good.
But speaking of things not working out, bandwagon wheel. Now, look, it was going to be a tough couple of games. We knew that well.
For old time's sake, do you want to tell what the bandwagon wheel is? Because I was listening to the last episode and we went into it. Because obviously we know what it is. The listeners know. The legacy listeners.
The legacy listeners do.
But I did notice that I don't think we even said the team we support.
Oh.
So if you were like a new listener, you'd be like, what are they talking about?
Well, that's how deep we're in here, folks.
Yeah.
The bandwagon wheel, season 2.
2 points.
No, 2.
2, yeah. It was 1 and 1.
We started with 1 in Turkey. The whole thing of the bandwagon wheel is we pick a country for whatever reason, whatever loosely based reason we decide. Then we put all the teams from the top flight in that country into a wheel.
A big wheel.
We spin the wheel. Whatever team we get, we jump on the bandwagon of that team for the rest of the season. Hence the name Bandwagon Wheel. This season, Bows were playing PAOK in the Europa Conference League playoff. Play-in, I think.
Yeah.
And we thought maybe Greece could be a good place to go. Last year we did Turkey. So we landed on Greece, put them all into a wheel. We landed on Atromitos, Athens-based team, who are terrible. They're not terrible though.
They're lovable though.
They're dead bottom in the Greek Super League.
I think you find we are second last.
Oh, second to bottom. I thought after this latest loss.
But we are second last. But Apollon Smimi have 2 games in hand.
Well, we battered them 4-1, so no wonder they're below us. But yeah, we had a tough couple of games.
The toughest, probably.
Oh, the toughest. Yeah, we had Panathinaikos followed by Olympiakos, and look, I mean, there was no surprises, no goals, no points for Atromitos as we lost 2-0 and 3-0 respectively.
Yep. I mean, that was coming though.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
It would have been a miracle.
And the next game is Panathinaikos in 2 days' time, and we take a break then for the Christmas. They take a Christmas break in the Greek Super League. But you know what, Will? I just feel like we need to support them more. We need to do more for the boys, because I feel there's a danger. For anyone who doesn't know, the Greek Super League is split into 2 playoff rounds.
The good playoffs and the bad playoffs.
Top 6 playoff to win the whole damn thing. Bottom 8 playoff to stay in the competition. That is the Greek Super League.
Which means the more you win, the more you lose, the more chances you get.
Yeah. So I look, we're second to bottom. We're about halfway through the season now. I feel there's a danger of Atromitos being like, look, we're not going to get into the top one, but sure, who cares? We're in this bottom one now. Let's just, let these games go by. Let the rot kind of start. I think we need to support them more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I know where you're going.
Well, I'll tell you where I'm going. For the second half of the season, I'm moving to Greece.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flying over there for the second half of the season, 13 weeks, and then I'm going to come back. Hopefully, the team, just knowing that I'm there, knowing that the foremost Western European podcast that supports Atromitos, one half of them
will be live.
Was on the island of Crete for the second half of the season.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the pod we're doing live, I'd say.
The pod we'll do. I have a siesta in the middle of the day. I'll do the pod then, but you won't do anything else. Yeah.
That's true. That's good. That sounds good.
I am moving to Crete though.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before.
Nonsense. Talking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? Like, what would you say? Just why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you talking rubbish?